Alright, thank you very much. If you are just watching, this is Kairaba, and we are live at the Kairaba police station, where of course Naneh Freda Gomez was arrested earlier today. So we're gonna go straight with the interview. So Naneh, new lecturer first. Then we establish exactly lan mo xew ba ñu isila fii. What exactly happened? What exactly happened?
Actually,
yes, you can.
If you guys have been following, sometime last week or so, a couple of weeks ago, I called for a press conference, right? I called for a press conference at the property in Bijilo, and most of the media houses were there. And what was happening on that day was the sheriff were coming to give us possession of the property. So I'm sure from that day, you guys must have had history of what happened and led to that day. So we got possession, but that same day, we got obstruction. We couldn't carry on the business of the day. But after a vigorous back and forth, we were let to do what we needed to do. The police that came to stop us eventually did not see the need or saw that we are the rightful owners, so they decided to go. So they went and left us. So every day, other day also, we go back and forth to carry on with our business. So that's what we started. But it's like there has been a lot of flip-flop. One day we will go, they say, okay, nobody will say anything to us. The security is still there, but sometimes we will go and then, he will come and say, oh, I just told my authorities that you are here, and they say you should leave. But every time I go there, they ask me to leave, I insist that I wasn't going to leave, because I'm not going to just act on word of mouth by somebody I don't even know who he is. I'm not the one who placed the person there, because as far as I'm concerned, the property is rightfully owned by the organization that I represent. So fast forward, today, over the weekend, I've been going there up and down with workers, with the weldermen to do measurements, to change the gates, because we are planning to put our own security personnel at the place. So we went in there, there is a gate at the back by the beach that is open. It was measured to fix the gate. There is another gate to the left side of the property as you enter that needed to be fixed. So we've gone there, all measurements have been done, and today, finally, I got the laborers to go and start block work and ordered cement, a truckload of cement as well to be delivered, because the workers were supposed to start work today. So when we got there, around 8 o'clock, because they left around 7:30, Jimpex come in there. So 8-ish, after 8, we arrived there. So when we got there, and then I entered, then the security came out and said, the truck is not going to enter. I was like, why? He said, well, I have to call to seek permission before I allow the truck to enter. So he made calls, and I'm sure they told him not to allow the truck to enter. So he went and got a padlock and locked the main gate. You understand? So I went through the other side, because there is another gate on the side that is like they only put corrugated iron sheets there, because the gate is not good. So I removed the corrugated iron and opened the gate and asked the truck to enter, and the laborers. So he rushed the other side and came and stood in front of the gate and said that the truck is not going to enter. So we're there back and forth, they will enter, they will not enter. That's when I started contacting media houses, because I sensed that something is going to happen. I call media houses and say, okay, this is the situation, and all of you who have been following from last week, we've been given possession, but then yet again we are having obstruction. So the first to get on the scene was Fatu Network that arrived. But then at the time the Fatu Network arrived, he had also called, and then they sent reinforcement team. So a truck full load of paramilitary arrived at the scene. So they also went and all blocked the other gate that I opened, because my car was also in front of the gate that they put the padlock. I was also making sure that if my car doesn't enter in my property, then nobody else has a right to enter in that property. So I parked my car in front of the gate. So now the people that brought the cement, they needed to go. So I instructed them to offload the cement and just put it in front of the gate where my car is, so that at some point in time the laborers can carry it to take it inside. And the paramilitary, they said they will not offload it. They had already offloaded actually half, about I think 47 or 53, but about that they offloaded. So they asked the truck driver to leave or whatever. So at that point in time, when they were telling the truck driver, don't do this, I was telling the truck driver, I am paying you, I brought you here, you need to work under my directive and instruction, so do what I tell you. Then all of a sudden, somebody else came from how to call it, Senegambia. Apparently, he's their boss. So he came, you understand, and tried to engage us. I said, say it again. I can't remember the name of the guy. Anyway, maybe later I'll be able to, I can find out. So, but then the guy that came is the truck that came, the team lead is Ahmad Bah. Ahmad Bah is their team lead. So when this guy came and was trying to call us to the corner to talk to us, I said no. I want everything to be on record. I am on Facebook Live and a media reporter is here. I want everything that we do, whatever. He said no, he doesn't want to be filmed or whatever. That the reporter should not even shoot him. I said the reporter has no business with you. He is outside. You guys have denied him access because I asked Ibrahim to come in. When Ibrahim was coming in with the camera, they just yanked him and pushed him out and then, you know, hit the camera fell. You understand? That's when we all intervene and say you don't have a right to assault a journalist. He is a journalist, he is independent, he's doing a job. Allow him to do his job. You talk to us and leave the journalist alone. So they said, so he asked 3 men to go and stop the journalist, like stand in front of the journalist so that he doesn't have access to come to the property. So he moved and went like opposite the property. There is a fence there, so he stood there and recording everything that was happening. So I guess at that point in time, I was also on Facebook Live talking about what was happening. They got irritated and frustrated. They said they were going to arrest us. I said, okay, fine, arrest us. You know, I don't have a problem. Arrest us and take us anyway. But we are not backing down. And once we go, we get released, we are coming right back. We are not relenting because we know that we have solid documentation, documents from the court to say this is your property. The sheriff came and sent the bailiff to come to the property and handed the property back to us. Who else supersedes that decision? Who else can set that aside apart from a competent court? So that's where I'm standing, and I will stick by it. I am not relenting. So when that happened, they yanked. Actually, they approached me and said they were there because the boss was saying, arrest them, arrest them, arrest them. You know, I just stood at one place inside the property. These guys were there, Lamin and Gilbert. So they came and yanked him or whatever, and all that, 3 of them, and threw him on a pickup truck. They went and got Gilbert also, put him on a pickup truck. And then all of a sudden the boss told him, you know what, the reporter was recording. I'm sure he has something. Take him so that he can delete everything he has there. So they went like far from where we were and got him also, Ibrahim, yanked him with his camera, with his tripod and everything in, and threw him on the truck. And then that's when they came for me. I said, nobody should touch me. Don't touch me. I don't want any man to touch me. There was a you're going. I say, I am not going. So the boss later on said, you know what? I have my influence. Ali musobula, ali nyin samba. You understand? Nali nyin samba, ate fango benala. I said, of course, I cannot abandon my staff. Well, if you take them, I will come. But I am not going to allow you guys to manhandle me or to drag me like you're doing everybody else. I will not allow it. So when they left, that's when I took the car and then went and met them at Senegambia police station. When we got there, nobody knows why we were there. Nobody was able to answer questions. Everybody asked, they say, well, they just brought you, I don't know. Then all of a sudden, this same guy that came to the property came back and said, was on the phone calling and talking and calling and talking and instructed that they should bring us to Kairaba. So that's when I said, okay, I have already communicated to our lawyer that we are at Senegambia. If you're taking us anywhere else, allow me time so that I consult with a lawyer and inform her Julie that we are being taken. So they allowed me time. I called and told her that, well, they said they're taking us to Kairaba. So she said, okay, just go there. I'm in Banjul, but I'll come and meet you there. So that's how we've been brought here. We came again. Nobody here knows why we were brought. So they get on consulting. All of a sudden, they wrote charges on a piece of paper. So eventually, first they said they were going to put us in the cell. And then we said no. And with the support of everybody that was here, everybody stood and said, no, it's not right. They're not criminals. You just brought them here. You've not charged them. You want to put them in the cell. For what reason? So there was a push and pull between the people here, us and the police. Eventually, the SO said, okay, that's fine. We can go sit in his office and wait. So we were there waiting. They were consulting back and forth telephone calls. Eventually, they said he got instruction that we should be charged. First of all, they said that they were told that I took my car and ran into the fence and vandalized the fence, which was absolutely not true. That was false. That was a blatant lie, you know, from them. But afterwards, he got a call again and said I should be charged for obstruction and malicious damage of property. Okay, and that was written. That charge was written on the charge sheet. Our lawyer was here, and the lawyer said we are not signing it. We're not doing that. Why, you know, which property? It is their property. So even if they vandalize it, they damage it, supposedly what you're saying is true. What law have they broken? So they're not signing it. So after several consultations, they changed that to assault. Okay, they changed the charge sheet to assault and
then deleted
and obstruction. So they changed that charge sheet. So when they did that again, they say assault. So our lawyer is like, assault who? Who have they assaulted? They said no, when we go to court, you know, they will the lawyer said no, we cannot just sign a blank paper that just say assault. When you assault a human being. So the person's name should be on the charge sheet, and there should be a complaint from that person that you claim that they have assaulted. So we went back and forth. Our lawyer insisted that we were not going to say anything or sign anything. Then they changed that one again. From assault, they came with criminal trespass. Yeah, criminal trespass and malicious damage of property.
But it says injury of property.
Injury of property, there you go. So that was the final charge that we are being charged for, and we had to get sorties to bail us, and we are supposed to be reporting here tomorrow at 12:30.
What's the bail bond?
Say it again?
The bail bond.
$100,000 is each. Yeah.
Do you think the police have anything to hide at that place? That does that reflect in any way that it is among the reasons why they are not letting you guys to get inside?
Well, I mean, I honestly don't know. The anti-crime has lived there, you know, we're stationed there for more than 2 years or so. Whatever they have done there, I have no idea, I don't know. But the bottom line is, it is our property. Whatever they've put there, I think time has, you know, time has overtaken them that they cannot do anything about it.
According to media reports, as you stated, contrary to what you stated, according to what Fatu Network reported, they said Ibrahim Jame, the police said he was mistakenly arrested. They didn't know he was a reporter. You are saying that they knew he is a reporter.
It is on record. When Ibrahim came and I called Ibrahim to come. Ibrahim was coming, they said Ibrahim should not enter. Ibrahim said, I am a journalist, and it is on record. Go to my Facebook. I was on live. And Ibrahim was also recording at the time. He was also recording during that time. He showed them, this is my press card. I'm a journalist from Fatu Network. You understand? And the officer was like, I don't care. My bosses say nobody should enter here. And Ismail said, I am independent. I'm here to do a job. It is all on record. So again, it just tells you what kind of a system we have. They're very, very cunning. They're very manipulative. They lie to their noses. And they think we are dummies. No, we are not. The reason why I started doing the Facebook, like as soon as I got there and sensed that there were going to be issues, I went on Facebook because I know that they will lie. They will change things. When we came here, the first thing they said was they arrested us because I ran my car into the property. But when they realized they don't have any proof to substantiate that, it changed again. Now they said assault. Who did you assault? It was a truckload of paramilitary that came there, and nobody wants to step forward and say I was the one that was assaulted. So when they couldn't get anybody to use as a pawn, they decided to put that aside and come up with something else. So the trend, you know, the trend of them changing and changing within these hours just tells you that they're not on the right track.
Well, a purported press release, exactly,
yes, from the
Ministry of Justice.
But again, that is a lie, because right now I can tell you there is no proceedings before the court. The court has been determined. Okay, I have shared the documentation. It's online, it's everywhere, and I can provide it to anybody. This file that I have in my hands here shows everything from day one. Correspondences, judgments, filings, everything is in this file, and they all have it. So for them to say there's a proceeding in court, that is a lie. Okay, if there is a proceeding,
let them provide it.
State the case number. State it.
Let them provide.
State the case number. The only proceeding that was in court was we were the ones that filed something for the court to enforce the judgment that was already existing. But now if we file something and say, court, we have a judgment, but then the sheriff is not executing, the police have refused to move, please help us execute it. And now the anti-crime has moved. So that judgment that filing has been overtaken by events. There is no need for that to even proceed, because what we were asking for was, please send the anti-crime away, please take them out. But that was from us, not them. They came to court and conceded and said, we don't have a case. We don't have a case. Even the 500,000 we were asking for cost damages, they even conceded and they said they were going to pay it. The judge asked them, are you sure even the cost you want to pay it? They said, well, according to instruction, we should concede we don't have a case.
Instruction
and the judgment from the Attorney General. From the Attorney General, because There is the Attorney General that represents the state, that was representing the Interior Minister, that was representing the IGP, that was representing the Lands Ministry. So it's from, and Attorney General was also a party to that suit. They came to court and conceded. The judge at the High Court, Achibongo, entered a judgment. So who else can set that aside? It's only a court. No other person in this country can set that aside.
How frustrating was it for you that the police will be taking instruction on phone before they handle
Well, it is super frustrating, my brother, because in this 21st century, 2021, after 22 years of authoritarian rule, we are still back at this. It is frustrating. It is really, really frustrating. It just tells us that we still have the same system operating in this country. Nothing has changed. It's only an individual that has changed. The same machinery is operating, and we all need to join hands and put a stop to it. Because today is my organization. Tomorrow it could be you, your organization, you're a media house. And again, the injustice that was meted on Ibrahima is unjust, it's uncalled for. Because he's a journalist. It's an attack on journalists. Now you are trying to suppress the media from exposing the dubious and callous acts of the force. That's what they were trying to do. And he was really intimidated, yanked, pushed. His camera was hit. Why should they do that? When he openly said on camera, I'm a journalist, I'm a reporter, I'm an independent person. I have a right given to me by the National Assembly. He repeatedly said that. I am given the right by the National Assembly to cover anything that is of interest to the media. And they had it, it's on record. So for them to come up with that bogus press release, and the president did not say anything. You said the facts.
You have a back and forth closed door meetings with the police officers. Can you unfold what has been said?
Well, they are also in dilemma. They don't know what is going on because they're level-headed. They saw the documentation, they saw the file, they saw everything else and acknowledge, well, you're on the right track. But our hands are tied. We are getting directives. I mean, since when we finished, they've charged us finally with those bogus charges. Now it's a bailable offense. To bail us, I mean, this is a simple issue that even a smallest police officer here can grant us bail. But because they're getting directives from the top, everybody is saying, I'm waiting for call to see whether we should grant you bail or not. They had already called me in. When they called me and say, well, sorry, you guys have to sleep here till tomorrow. I said, no problem. I don't have a problem. All I know is I am not relenting. Because once I leave here, let it be in the next 10 days, I'm going right back to our property to continue what I started. So back and forth, I called the lawyer also called, so they were calling. Eventually, they said, okay, they've got word that they can grant us bail. And then we come back and report here 12:30 tomorrow. So like, seriously?
If the anti-crime unit of the police force left the property down there, who are they taking directives from? Or who has a vast interest in the place?
Well, they are not saying. One thing, if you go to my Facebook Live, the officer on the ground today, Sergeant Bojang, was on phone, made it on speaker, because I was insisting that we were not going to go anywhere. So what he did was he made a call, and he called Bojang because he was really frustrated as well, and said he feels that they're really throwing him under the bus. They're giving directives that he himself believes is not right. So he called and told Bojang, you guys need to come because this lady is insisting that she is not moving an inch, and she's insisting that his stuff, the laborers are going to go in, the cement is going to go in. All right? And then Landing was on the phone because he made it on speaker for me to hear that it is not him that is stopping us, it is his superiors, the boss, that is giving him directives to act the way he was acting. So the phone was on speaker, and then you can hear Landing was saying, Alkanabula ayadung, ning ayamune fo mira afanna, nte kokuneko. But then he said, you know, she's telling us that the IGP is not a party to this. And Landing was like, Nko, ntenga IGP call le, IGP koko, atenim baro diamwe, president yako ako, alkana kane song ayadung je.
When you said Landing, who are you referring to?
Landing, Commissioner Landing Bojang.
This
was Commissioner Landing Bojang.
Is he the deputy IGP?
No.
It's AIG.
Is the assistant inspector?
I don't know. It's Commissioner. I think it's Commissioner Operations.
But the name is Landing Bojang.
Landing Bojang. Commissioner Landing Bojang.
Can you repeat that in English, what he said?
Commissioner Landing Bojang. So you could see that Landing was categorically telling the guy, do as I tell you, because I've also gotten directives from my boss, who told me this morning that he had consulted with the president. He went and he said, Baro, you understand? Nga president no call le, ntenim baro diamutale, atinim baro diamutale. So according to Landing, the IGP Abdullah Sanyang spoke to Baro, and Baro said under no authority they should allow us access. This is not from me. This was on speaker, landing telling Sergeant Bojang what authority or instructions or directive he also received.
Does such a move have anything to do with your political affiliation?
Say it again.
I said, does such a move have anything to do with your
Absolutely
political
not.
affiliation?
Absolutely. I'm a Gambian. I have right to affiliation. I'm a member of a political party, but this is my job, my daily bread. And I was working with this organization prior to me joining a political party. So it absolutely has no connection, no affiliation whatsoever with whatever is happening. It's just like you are a journalist, you are working for a media house, but you have a political leaning. And I'm sure election day you're going to go vote for a political party. But that has nothing to do with your work.
Will you agree that these police officers did this because of political issue in it?
Well, whatever their reasons are, for me, I don't even think it's politically motivated. I think it's a corrupt act. They're just being corrupt and dubious. That's what all this is.
Thank you.
And really flaunting law, a court order, which they are supposed to be protecting the law, but they are the ones seem to be flaunting it.
What
Thank you so
will be your
much.
next stand?
Thank
How are you to stand against this issue?
Well, I'm not relenting. For me, nothing has changed. I've been arrested and charged with bogus charges. We're going to go to court. And it is up to them to prove beyond reasonable doubt that whatever they've charged me, they have proof and evidences to prosecute me for that. And I'm ready for it. Bring it on. I'll take it. All right? But that has not changed anything. As far as I'm concerned, the property still remains ours. And as the representative of the organization, I will continuously, relentlessly execute my duties without fear or favor or intimidation from anybody whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so thank you very much. If you're just watching, thank you very much. And then we are live at the, of course, Kairaba police station, and this is it. You heard it from, of course, Naneh Freda Gomez. I will for so I minketa be for angale kangoto and be covering, of course, 12 mafonga. Bijane purka kolu regulate kol mi alonko walla ka kolu mabe kol mi alonko wolle benun jang. Bari baje kanko Naneh Freda Gomez be min fokan wala nyindi ko dulato mi alon ko kiti bungo ya dilale pour ka je ko italam bari tata jele bi ka cemento sambaje pour ka loroke bari unfortunately ko to donaje wala tin nay nati muta ke nati Senegambia police station to nati bondi je ye samba nan Kairaba police station to jang so wo kolale inati charge ko ye asolle ke bari inata o asol ni jindi inata asol kote ke ka foko itol mu molleti mi alon ko ko e tiñarole ko dulato inata o fananta ya jindi inata asol inata charge kote ke ko itol mu molleti mi alon ko ye trespass leke abe lori wolto science samo 12 o'clock binale pour ka of course report jam so ngala moy yabe dem ka suru ak ngol fa
dinañ ko fa wacce bu ko fa wacce dinañ ko fa wacce wa eventually guys start di ko wacce fofu nono and then send message ne this is going on pour media bi ñu xam li xew so Fatou network ñu send fofu nono a reporter ku ñew bim ñewé ñu ne koku du duga understand so koku nono taxaw ci biti di film dal di def li mo def di def liggéeyam won na len ne man media la Fatou network la joggé ayo ñu ne bum film koku mo len ankay li xew man amna right pour film ko because I've been empowered by the National Assembly pour def suma liggéey te suma liggéey dama ko wara def te ken waru ci am ben texa waru ci am texa yoy nonu waye lolu neexule man nit ma ngi won Facebook live and also talking but of course that intimidated them because they've been calling back and forth consulting eventually you know okay nañ gëna ko ñu arrest me Mylan you will arrest me it's only arrest that can take me out of this place but not you asking me out so eventually they said they were going to arrest us so Gilbert at Lamin they manhandled them yanked them insulted them and threw them on the pickup truck and then also went for the journalists who were standing far from them also recording filming everything that they were doing so because of gis nañ na liñ def right to jaarut yoon parce que niñ traité gars understand ku ko gis dina ko ñaawtu te dina xelam dina ci tey léegi ñu ne journaliste bi na far lim jël kooku ne duma ko far man journaliste la li ma def suma liggéey la so ñu ne moom tam dañ ko arrest noonu lañ ko arresté jël dóor caméra bi mu daanu mu for ñu yam ko moom tam dugal ko si pick-up truck bi dafa far na farut kan déedéet farut bañ nañ biñ demee Sénégal bi sax loolu la gars yi wax ne dafa am pour far ko ay yooyu noonu ma ne kenn du fi far ñu ne man suma téléphone ma leen in fact sa téléphone bi fay na so su fayitoon sax du ma far dara ba pare Facebook live laa nekkoon man I wasn't recording I was Facebook live so the thing has gone viral Even if you delete it from my Facebook, it's not going to go away. So, and the journalist, you don't have a right to erase whatever the journalist has taken. So after we know that back and for you know, okay, you transfer Kairaba. So no like I in the motobi, you know Kairaba. I refuse to climb up the pickup truck. I say I wasn't going to climb up the pickup truck. So you know I do the motobi, but then it was man and another officer, a male officer. I said I was not going to sit in that one passenger vehicle seat with another officer. So eventually they got a taxi and escorted me with a male officer and a female officer in the taxi. Oh, wow. So man do duga si moto bi because dañ leen eb si gannaaw pickup truck man ma ne duma fa so ñu ne ma duga si kanami pickup truck waaye kanami pickup truck bi toogu bi pour benn nit la waaye dañ bëggoon beneen police officer mu duga man foofu noonu ma ne duma seedoo toogu bi ak police officer. So eventually ñu ne ñii nii ñoom nañ fa duga so ñu ut taxi man taxi bi moo ma indi so noonu lañ ñëwee fii léegi ñëw nañ fii ñi tamit kenn xamul ba fa bee genn call laaj mu ne xamul ñu dañu fi indi rek so si diggante bi call nañ laajte ñu gis ne loolu ndox bu tuuru la ñu ceeñaat boobu noonu ñu ñëwaatim caajaat ñu another one ñu ñëwaati ci boobu ñu xam ne boobu dem ñu ñëwaat finally the final charge that we are bailed for moo nekk criminal trespass and malicious injury to property or damage to property, whatever the term they use. So those are the charges, and we're supposed to know report si elect 12:30. So mbir bi daal dem na ñëw na lii la waaye li ma bëgg a askan te xam mooy ne ñun fiñ taxaw fu wéer la parce que ñun demaluñ fa suñ boppa dem nañ suñ taay yuñ demee ñu ne ñu for security reason you cannot come here for security reason doo leen mën a commencé job parce que anti crime ñu ngi fa so ñun tamit ñu toog tey xaar anti crime bi ñu waxoon ne security reason génn nañ te ñoom li ñu wax sax ñun ñoo mount pressure moo tax ñoom ñu génn parce que typiquement ñu ne anti crime and they don't want to be a subject of bad news and that was what the interior minister told me that they will do everything possible pour génn saa yu shérif bi ñëwee ne leen da ngeen war a génn binda leen ñu oo ñu ñaan ñu ne leen may leen ñu time ñu ngee ut fuñ leen di yóbbu léegi finally ñoo ñu génn nañ ñu nekkoon problème bi lan mooy problème bi foofu noonu su dee amul ay njuuj njaaj yu si nekka lan mooy problème bi ñooñu génne ne ñu ñëw pour continuer suñu liggéey ba tey ngeen ne duñ def suñu liggéey mënuma understand lan la code bi shérif bi moo ñu indi ba foofu noonu ne ñu lii mooy seen problème kayit yaa ngi nii léegi jël leen seen property ngeen def li ngeen bugga shérif bi def na loolu xam nga shérif bi du def loolu su dee amul kayit yu dëgër yu ko may doole bi pour mu ñëw na la jëlal sa alal so léegi shérif bi jox nañu ba tey ñun ñu bañ a jox suñu property te kenn bëggut a come forward pour wax ne man la lii waaye ñu ngi nekk foofu noonu soo waxee orders from the top executive order orders from the top executive order loolu ku ko dégg sa xel war naa tey parce que dañ ko dégg ba sonna te man dama foogoon ne loolu génn na Gambia fu mu nekk nii waaye nag askan bi génnangut mu ngi fi ba tey parce que man loolu laa nekk di dund tey jii
nee ku la xam-xam ne jigéen bi bul
all right thank you very much we have to stop things here we thank you very much for watching Naneh has said this in English and also in Wolof so I have translated this to, of course, Mandinka. So I thank you very much for following Kerfatu. We will keep you updated, inshallah, by tomorrow. We will follow the case, whatsoever the case is. Of course, we'll bring everything to light as far as Kerfatu is concerned. So we thank you very much for always following Kerfatu. I am Buba Gajigo. Bye-bye.